Good morning and welcome to another episode of Spotlight and Entrepreneurs Media and Radical Powered Spotlight. Today we have Ajit Panicker. He is one of the skills coach and he has been running his own SkillKrafting Academy for several years now. So welcome to the show, Ajit. So
Thank you so much, Nirmallya. Thank you so much.
So I understand you come from a defense background, and that's why the discipline, the rigor, everything comes along with it. Is it? Is it in the DNA with you?
Yes, actually, I myself have been in the forces for some time. Not forces, actually. I was in National Defense Academy for 2 years,
Hmm.
and I come from the family where almost everyone has been in the army or the forces.
Hmm.
So yes, you can say that it is in the DNA because I done my schooling also after that. So DNA plus the first environment, which is after the parents, which is the school, was
Hmm.
also army school. So
Hmm.
obviously a lot of it has come from there. The
Yeah.
discipline has come from there.
In fact, I too have been privileged with a lot of the forces kids. With my friends being, I was to be studying in central school, so that's why I had known a lot of them and known them very closely. So that's why I know how Fauji families are actually upbringing happens in part of it. So how did
Yes.
the shift from being in the academy and then shift happen to get going on a different career path?
Okay, so something unfortunate happened while I was in my training days in my National Defense Academy. And on
Hmm.
medical grounds, I had to leave the forces, the academy. And then I moved on, and that actually took a lot of time mentally because I was not ready to leave because I don't
Hmm.
easily leave
Hmm. Hmm.
places, things, and situations in life. And I clearly remember one Major B Singh.
Hmm.
uh, I can clearly remember his face, his name, everything. He was instrumental in convincing me
Hmm.
that you're just about 19-year-old, and the world has a lot of opportunities waiting for you. So don't just limit yourself to this particular profession. It's just a profession. Okay, go on and face the world and see how beautiful it is and all of that. So that kind of brainwashing me had happened with him. So and then I finally, along with my parents,
Hmm.
emotional drama, I would say,
Hmm.
I finally decided, okay, so many of them are saying, and because it would have injured me badly again,
Hmm.
and it would have left a lot of troubles for my family. So after there, I resumed my education. I did my graduation. I did my management, all from Lucknow University,
Okay.
University of Lucknow, and
Hmm.
then joined banks. I joined a bank and worked there for some years, and then moved on. Uh, the only the only probably a differentiator would be that I did not wait for my complete education to get over, which is MBA, and start working. I have been working even during my summer vacations in my class 10th. And that was obviously just an experience per se.
Hmm.
And then during my graduation days, I was working part time. During my MBA days, I was working part time. And you can say that my first business or first startup was actually immediately after my class 12th when I started. All of us during those days used to teach other students and
Hmm.
earn some
Hmm.
money.
Hmm.
And that one, two student led to about 50, 55 students, and I had a coaching institute. So that in way was one of those incidents which made me believe that making money or running a business, it does not require that you have to come out of Harvard or an Oxford or an international management school to do
Hmm.
that. So it was a small beginning to taste
So
the waters.
that is the could be the foundation of your life today.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, and that is. But gradually, I realized that it is not enough because running a coaching institute in a
Hmm.
small place and
Hmm.
running a huge company later on, maybe building a brand, is there are
Hmm.
two different things.
Hmm.
So then I had to take experience. So
Hmm.
I joined a lot of organizations, worked there as an employee, and the
Hmm.
only intention, Nirmallya, was to gain experience. I never wanted to rise up, climb the ladder, and become a CEO of some other company.
Okay.
That was never there in my books.
So it's
Uh,
over, if I'm not wrong, it's over 2 decades of journey now, correct?
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
give me three of your key learning or three or few of your key learnings which you sort of keep re-emphasizing in your own life.
Okay. So my biggest learning is uh, a word which has now become very famous. I used to call that as NGPs. I coined that word actually, and that's a signature program also which we do. It's known as an NGP species. Okay. So what is an NGP species? An NGP species is a never give up species. Okay. Uh, Until the work, the job, the task, the target
Hmm.
is not
Hmm.
over,
Hmm.
I do not give up, and I now coach people not people to not to give up. So now that word, that those three words have been summed up in one single word, which is known as resilience.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's the first and the most important trait I would say now I have, not just a learning. The second is we should never stop learning. You know, uh, the life is not about getting educated from some great institutions of the
Hmm.
world.
Hmm.
Life is about experiencing as it shows you, as what it
Hmm.
makes you do, what it makes you experience. So I believe life in itself is a teacher, and walking along with that teacher in that journey, which is again a life. The journey is life. The teacher is life. So we all know that
Yeah, Ajit, we come back on this point.
yeah. So we all know that learning is very important, and I'm sure that most of us are aware of this fact that continuous
Hmm.
learning keeps us
Hmm.
upgraded, updated to face life, not just to upgrade our skills, to face life actually. So for me, for me, this life as a journey has been a teacher. It has been a journey in itself, and I so strongly believe that one should never stop learning. And every success and failure, both, I never say that only success or only failure, both of them are teachers to us. And that's the second learning, or say, the important thing in my life which I've learned. And the third is that uh, we should not believe that, for me it has been like that. So it's not that if you do multiple things in life, you know uh, there's a very popular saying, uh, which I rebelled and I said, no, I will not believe in this. It was that jack of all trades and master of none.
Hmm.
People say that, you should focus only on one thing and should not
Hmm.
do multiple things, and then you will
Hmm.
not land up anywhere. Somehow I felt it otherwise because my interests were varied and I loved everything in my life. So whatever I took up, I did it passionately. So I started loving it. So if I am doing writing, I'm loving it. I'm so doing passionately. If I'm speaking, I'm doing taking up motivational speaking as passion. I'm doing it. Whether it was banking, whether it was selling cars, whether it was selling insurance, whether it was anything, I was taking up my every assignment, every job so passionately that I started loving it. So how
Hmm.
can I say that I can't be good in this?
Hmm.
So I kind of made a resolve that, whatever I do in my life, I'll do with my full dedication and my passion and will bring the best out of it. And while doing so, I learned and did a lot of things together, which kind of brought uh, in me multiple, skills as assets. So today, that's the reason that I am kind of a behavioral scientist. I am a learning and development architect. I am a facilitator. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a best-selling author. I'm a transformation coach. And then all of them together, people don't understand. Probably they will not understand when they look at me and my profile that this guy is wearing multiple hats. What is he good at actually? The thing is that they're all leading to one thing, and one thing is helping people help themselves to transform their life.
Hmm.
So I am very clear about it. People are not, which they will probably over a period of time will realize. So, Nirmala, I think these are the three learnings which
So,
I've had.
so
You can
at
be,
what point of
yeah,
understood? So at what point of time in your path you actually decided to actually create the SkillKrafters Academy, and how
okay,
did that come to your mind?
okay. So, Nirmala, my actual first startup was a financial planning startup. It was a financial planning company called Celeb Financial Planners Global. I had floated that in the year 2010, and it did not do well. In 2 years' time, we had to shut down because my other partners had some other different interests, which was into real estate, and this was taking some time because it was a business which would have taken time because it was not about selling products. It was about
Yeah,
helping people on financial advisory,
yeah,
fee-based advisory. We were not recommending or pushing products to them. So they wanted to make faster, money, and they pulled out of the business, and I was left alone with a lot of things and challenges. So finally I had to shut that down. And but then again, because I always knew that I wanted to make a brand, create a brand, build a brand, I would not, I would not give up. But alone again, should I do it? And losses and all of that. So I had to recover out of that and then make some money to stabilize. I took another 12 years to hone my skills to do probably this, because while I was in my jobs, while I was doing my first startup, I realized that one thing which I can do very well is that I can very honestly, very genuinely help people. And that was something which I've been doing ever since my school days. Although I probably would not have got back in the same amount, but I
mm,
genuinely continue to help without thinking that this guy or this boy or this man, this lady would help me or not. But then by the evening, by the night, I felt that I was feeling happy. So I said, let's forget about whether they will return back that or not. So that was one feeling which made me realize that why not do this in the field of education, training, coaching. And that is when I started attending a lot of workshops, seminars, trying to understand how this business works, and then started taking up small assignments as a freelancer. Then I took a major one, which I handled the north part of the country. That was again in within 1.5 years in 2011, and then ever since 2011 to 2022, I continued as a freelancer consultant, independent consultant, L&D architect, and continue to give training solutions, train, design programs, plan, execute everything. And finally, about 1.5 years back, formally, this company was floated called the
okay,
SkillKrafter Academy.
mm,
And so I would say the idea actually started somewhere in 2016,
okay.
because that is when I had made up my mind that this is what I will probably do all my life,
Mm.
come what may.
So beyond now, since it's an academy form, more organized and formalized part of it, so you have regular courses as well as you have long-term courses also. Is that so?
So, Nirmala, I would say we are still in the initial stage of our business.
Okay.
1.5 years, nothing, because
Mm,
usually people take about 3 to 4 years actually to make a ground uh, and stand on that ground of the business.
mm,
So we yet uh, doing that. We're struggling. We have our own challenges every day.
mm.
Uh, but currently we are into B2B segment.
Okay.
Our model is business to business model, and
Okay.
we are only targeting corporate clients and colleges and universities, and we are doing programs long term, short term. So they are 1 day, 2 day, or maybe 3 days, or maybe 12 days program,
Mm.
depending upon the need of the client. So we
Okay.
have our own trademark model which we have devised, which is known as AD. A
Okay.
as in assess, we assess the training needs.
Mm,
D as in we design the program
mm,
according to those needs which we have identified.
mm,
And D as in deliver, we
mm,
deliver the program, we facilitate the program.
mm,
After the ad has been done, we
mm,
kind of evaluate the effectiveness of the
mm,
program.
mm,
So this is the model we are currently in. But
mm,
I know your probably next question would be how to scale up.
mm.
So So that is B2B. We are trying to reach out to people to show our presence first. Because starting B2C directly without having any name in the market would involve a lot of marketing cost, a lot of digital marketing cost, which we don't want to bear right now. So we
So
thought probably
this
we'll
this
show our
question is
faces.
actually little. I've been after so many startups I've seen rising up then falling and all this thing. So this question of this scaling up is a now a dual path actually. One path, of course, some people still believe in the scaling up. I still believe that old order of business, which is running the business, is also a good amount. You may not be a all India, a all market player.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
can have your own niches and segments to run that business. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's why this scaling up question is now generally I don't ask. So,
Okay,
so
so if you are if you're aligned with that thought, as I am also like, I'm with that thought. That business for me, actually, I don't conform to this word called startup. It's a
hmm,
new age word.
hmm,
When I started my first, I used to call that as a venture.
hmm,
And for me, it's always a business. It was, it is, and it will always be a business.
hmm,
And so and I don't believe in I don't, when people ask me, what is that innovation which you're doing? What are the unconventional methods which you are using? So
hmm,
for me, I believe business is the only way I know is a conventional way of doing it, which is that a business should first be known by people. People should trust your business.
hmm,
People are not just around, people all around, whoever gets, exposed to your business should feel the value which your business is creating. Until that trust factor has not been created, there's no point scaling up. Forget about the investors part. I don't even
correct.
believe in that right now.
Huh,
Yeah. So for that, that goodwill has to be created in the market. People should know the person who's leading it, the team which is leading it,
correct.
the core team. What are they doing? What is it that they are doing that is bringing a difference in the life of
Hmm,
the people?
hmm,
And it's not necessary. Also, one more very important thing is that it's not necessary that
hmm,
it has to be some eureka idea.
hmm, huh,
You know,
correct.
our
Hmm,
business is a business which has been there 10,000 years ago. Also, so what is new in this?
hmm,
Guru Shishya Parampara has been there probably during Rama's age, Sri Ram's
correct.
age.
Correct. Correct.
What are we doing new? Nothing.
Hmm,
This eagle is Garuda.
hmm.
This
Even
eagle
even
on
even
my
even Chanakya was the guru to Ashoka, na? So
yeah,
that way
yeah,
so that remains part that part of it.
yeah. So newness, yes,
Hmm,
maybe the newness would be the people who are running it. Newness
hmm,
would be the value systems which we are running with,
hmm,
and probably once they start getting exposed to it, they will feel the difference. And so for that, we want people one by one slowly to understand that no need for that
hmm.
fire to catch up so soon.
Okay, my next question is a little bit more towards your target audience whom you have trained so many people and all this thing.
Yeah.
What do you think is the trend which is there among youngsters more so? I know now so much of buzzword of startup and all this thing. How are their minds? What is the readings of yours of their minds and their sort of
Okay.
transformation?
So the young mind, when it comes to learning, they don't want to sit back and get tutored like somebody tutoring them, teaching them like a teacher.
Hmm. Hmm.
They want someone who is like them.
Okay.
They want a trainer, they want a coach, they want a teacher who is like them, who speaks like them,
Hmm.
who behaves like them, who knows a lot more than them,
Hmm.
but he respects those young minds' opinions. He or she, whoever the trainer coach is, they want that the teacher and the trainer should understand that they are also adults. They are also 18, 19-year old, 20-year old. They have also seen some kind of
Hmm. Hmm.
they have had some kind of an experience in this
Hmm.
world.
Hmm.
And because I very strongly believe that, Nirmala, ever since we are a 5-year old or a 6-year old boy or a girl, our mind has developed.
Hmm.
And after that, everything is an experience to us.
Hmm.
So imagine somebody who is 19-year old, he already has about 13 years of experience. So he would have formed some some level of an expertise, knowledge, opinions. So without actually listening to those opinions, those suggestions, those advices, those knowledge bites which they have, and just imposing what the teacher knows is something which is criminal.
Okay.
And that is probably the reason
Hmm.
that students in the colleges, I do a lot of programs for triple IITs,
Hmm.
IITs. I'm actually I would say that I get to get into an IIT, NIITs, triple IITs, and a lot of other regional engineering colleges. And one thing which I've noticed is they don't want to attend their professors' classes. They want to bunk. You
Hmm.
know why? It's
Hmm.
because they are yet their teachers only. They're very unfriendly. They don't mix up. They don't
Hmm.
talk. They
Hmm.
don't question them. They don't let them question.
Hmm.
So if the young mind is not allowed to question, I somehow very strongly believe, Nirmallya, that the mind that questions is the most fertile mind.
Hmm.
If you are stopping the mind to question, you
Hmm.
are stopping the growth of your own nation.
Hmm.
Forget about the class, forget about his studies, his grades, your college reputation. You are stopping the growth of the entire nation if you're stopping the questions which they are asking. Nobody
Hmm.
in the country should be stopped from asking questions. Yes, there should be some decorum maintained when they are asking those questions. It should not be so stupid
Hmm.
that stupid in the sense it should not be derogatory.
Correct. Correct.
It
The
should not
language
disrespect.
tonality, that is.
Yes, questions are never wrong.
Hmm.
Questions are never stupid.
Hmm.
Tones can make that wrong.
Hmm.
So
But
I very strongly believe that that's
hmm.
what I have observed in the young minds.
But unfortunately, last decade, what has happened is the overall our because of social media, because of the so-called access, the power equations have changed. Because of all this, there has been sort of degradation in the language and the politeness and the whole decorum which you are just referring. Is that so, or is that a assumption which is only in the digital and social media?
Nirmala, I would say, let's believe only 10% on what is being shown on digital media
Hmm.
because that's what it is.
Okay.
If I have to believe someone, I say
Hmm.
this to my team also, I say this to all the people I have worked with.
Hmm.
If I have to believe on Nirmalaya, I will at least meet Nirmalaya
Hmm.
for 3 to 5 times
Hmm.
to do the first transaction with him.
Hmm.
I will not believe what has been told by the media about him, that he's good or bad or ugly. If even if he has been butchered by what has been shown in the media, I would still only believe about him when I have met him thrice or 4 times. Maybe I will discover some hidden qualities and talents which nobody in the world has seen and
Yeah.
which has been unexplored, which are
Hmm.
actually his assets, and even he does not or she does not realize it.
Hmm.
So, uh, digital media, just about 10% you should believe
Hmm.
because it is being manipulated, badly being manipulated.
Hmm.
Right from the US as a country, India, or whichever powerful country which is there, it is being manipulated to an extent we can't even explain. Right from anything, there are a lot of things which can be done, which gets influenced, and people in India or wherever they are, most of us are those who follow the herd mentality.
Correct.
If
So
there are,
that.
that's the game.
Okay. Okay, so moving sort of forward, let's say towards next decade of coming in, what do you think will be the key drivers of human mind?
Okay, so because there are people like Elon
I
Musk,
asked you this because you deal with human mind and heart.
yeah,
Hmm.
my most favorite program is Power of Mind actually.
Hmm. Hmm.
So because there are people like Elon Musk, yeah, who are working on multiple such uh, things with technologies which talk about artificial intelligence, which talks about
Hmm.
neural links,
Hmm.
which he is claiming that he would be putting a chip inside your head, and then your efficiency and productivity will increase. So obviously, we are in that age where uh, a lot has to be understood about the mind. Okay, so for me, if I have to probably take a call on artificial intelligence, robotic process automation, machine learning, and the human mind, I would say the most powerful among them is the human mind alone, without any of these. Very simple fact, very basic understanding and knowledge about it, that all of this has been created by this very simple, basic human mind, which probably people are claiming that it is the least powerful. Right? Even all of this which is being created by Elon Musk, it is his that 57-gram
Brain.
bheja which he has that has created this. So how can that not be powerful? It is powerful. It is the most powerful thing.
Mm,
Now, how to unleash the power of that mind
mm,
is that we should understand that mind works as a universe.
mm,
We call that in Hindi as Brahmand. So if you look at, and I've actually explored a lot on this, if you look at universe and if you look at your human mind, with the bheja, that brain, that physical part of that mind, which is brain, if you look at it, they're very similar. Okay. So now there are links, there are neural links in the brain mind, and there are a lot of such links between the planets and all
mm,
kinds of stars. So if you actually have to understand mind, you, me, and everyone has to understand the concept of energy,
mm,
right? Energy is known by different names.
mm.
Okay.
Correct.
People in the religious context call it as deities.
Mm,
In the scientific fraternity, it is known as energy. So I am a big follower of energy, as well as I have my own deities which I follow, because I know that they are one. So mind, if you have to explore your mind, you have to understand the energy. And then there are obviously, when we talk about energy, like light and the darkness, there are positive energies and there are negative energies. So if you want to tap the power of your mind, you have to somehow understand that your mind is very powerful, and through positivity, you can enhance that power.
mm,
And for that, once you are able to make yourself happy and positive, then
mm,
you can actually, like a magnet, attract other powerful
mm,
mind. And
mm,
that I call as a mastermind. So what is a mastermind? Mastermind is Nirmallya, Ajit, X, Y, and Z, five of them together, sitting in a group in a circle and brainstorming. And their mind, if you can, just imagine the
mm,
powers, the rays of my mind and your mind coming together like this, converging at one place, and this is a mastermind which is being created. So when that mastermind gets created, which we in common parlance call as brainstorming, we come out with a lot of beautiful ideas which are extremely important, and they are actually very helpful for the humankind. So anything that is good for the humankind, I would say, is being used. The power of the mind is being used wisely. If it is not, like if, say, for example, if I talk about uh, Elon Musk's idea of putting a chip in the mind, it can go anywhere and it will actually go
mm,
the
mm.
darker way. Trust you
Correct.
me,
Correct. The whole,
it
somebody
will go
says
the
it's
darker
a
way.
creation of the Frankenstein.
We are probably not, yeah, Frankenstein. Yeah. If you are not aware, then actually US Army,
Mm,
most of us maybe not be aware that actually US Army already has robotic warfare.
mm,
We are telling that the whole world can have it. Imagine what is happening right now
mm,
between these three nations,
mm.
and what
Correct.
happened in Ukraine and Russia. We're
Mm,
telling that the entire world can get into the same stage. Why? Why is India not getting into it, and why other good nations are not getting into it? Because they understand that life is about blooming. Life is
mm,
about,
mm,
is all about giving happiness to others,
mm,
right? Life is about spreading that positivity where life can grow.
mm.
We are not created to destroy. We were created to construct things. That is the reason that this human mind is constructing things. You look around yourself right now. I
Mm,
use this example every time in my trainings. You look around right now. I look around my surroundings right now. You will not find, Nirmala, one single thing. Can
mm.
you just look around yourself and see just one single thing that has not been created by the human mind?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Mm,
The jacket which you are wearing, the headgear which you are having, the wall behind you, the table, the
Hmm.
laptop, the mobiles, every
Every.
damn thing. And not why just this? You yourself, me, my existence, your existence, our existence is the brainchild of our parents,
Correct.
because they thought that they want to have a family or
Hmm.
expand the family.
Correct.
If their energies would not have come together, their mindful energy would not have come together, their physical energy would not have come together, and we as energy would not have been reproduced.
Correct. Correct.
So we are born to create and construct, not to destroy. But yes, having said that, as it is known by everyone else, where there is light, there is darkness also. So there is some portion of darkness will always be there.
Correct.
But if we talk about mind, we should use that powerful mind which is there to bring that
So
peace, positivity.
since you were talking about so much of the brain mind, now let me ask you a little bit more of the specifically on the entrepreneur's mind, because
Yeah,
our show is more about the entrepreneur and the part
yeah.
of it. So I understand you have done students and all things. You have also must have trained a lot of entrepreneurs also.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what do you think are the key blockages you've seen in an entrepreneur's journey, and how? What do you think are the quick fixes which they themselves can sort of unravel?
You want to know the kind of jal they are bunning for themselves,
Hmm.
the new age startup, or you want to know about the previous ones?
Previous ones first, because then learnings to the new age happens for that.
Okay. So, if we talk about the businesses which were there earlier, other than the startup world which has started, there the thing was the adoption of technology was very slow.
Hmm. Hmm.
Their belief on technology was very slow, and they believed more on the human factor, which was not wrong.
Hmm.
But that has actually led them not to grow fast. So
Okay.
technology has to be there.
Hmm.
There's no question about it that technology, without
Sure.
technology you can
Sure.
grow. You cannot scale up. So that's one thing. The second thing is that the businesses which were there previously, they were more to do with profiteering only for themselves.
Correct.
They were more concerned about that profit should remain in the accounts of the organization, without actually understanding that very simple fact that very same people who are working for you are the reason that you are making profits.
Correct.
So whether it be laborers, whether it be executives or managers, the human power, the human resource which is being employed to do this were not justifiably being paid.
Hmm.
They were not being encouraged. They were not being rewarded enough. So that's another thing which the old generation businesses have missed doing it.
Okay.
And the third is that they have not inculcated the habit of intrapreneurship amongst
Correct.
their employees.
Correct.
Why not? Why can't they? Why
Hmm.
do they think? Why they are so short-sighted and so afraid that
Hmm.
if
Hmm.
if they allow good minds in their own company who are salaried people
Hmm.
to actually do a business in their own company, they are allowed to do. You work for us. You want to work for us. You work for us. But you think that you can create a business here which is not even aligned with our business. We will invest in you.
In fact,
We will pay you
fantastic point.
salary also, and
Hmm.
we will pay you your due as a entrepreneur in our own company. That is there, but limited. Mr.
In
Narayan
fact,
Murthy did for some time.
hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
In
that
fact,
word.
this, in fact, one of the brand that we transform. I am into brand consulting and transformation. One of the traditional iron and steel manufacturer found. I found the gentleman actually doing that. Right, his own son was quite young and quite small. So what he did was he created two or three of his own employees and made them different businesses within the power of his industry, and let them run those businesses, and he just only supervises. Till the time his son came up, he gave him created another third business, whatever. I see it very little in Indian mind actually. Indian mind actually wants to keep it all by
Yeah.
themselves, part
So
of
they
it.
all want for themselves. I will not take
Mm,
names. There are very
mm,
big names.
mm,
We are.
mm,
I am like 0.0000001% of what they are as
mm,
far as the market capitalization or profits are concerned. But I know one thing, that if they would have done that,
mm,
not just their own business, there would
mm,
have been multiple other businesses that would have been created, which would have helped the nation get built. So the industrialist, I would call them as industrialist and businessmen of the yesteryears, they were only focused about their own profits, and they are still yet, even now, they're only focused about their own
So
profits.
basically, the point you are saying is the equity and wealth equitable distribution of the wealth itself.
Yes, I'm not in favor of equal distribution, but I would say a reasonable distribution.
Reservation rather than the 1% of the Indians holding the 90% of the wealth.
Yeah, I would not say that, a poor who is not working hard, you give him undue what is due to him.
Sure.
If 100 rupees are being owned by a businessman, and we say that the 100 total people, and there are people who are not even working and they are poor, we give them 1 rupee to them also. No, we should not. We should never, never, ever pay to those people who are not ready to work, who are, so that's one thing. So these are the three main things which I would say for yesteryear's businesses. Talking about the new startup, the world.
Quick one. I was just coming to the quick for the startup world or the new age entrepreneur.
So one very important thing is one should forget this word called unicorn for some time. And that's primarily the reason that they are undergoing the investment winters or whatever they call that as terminology. Forget about this word as unicorn. Let that come on its own. Don't focus on the word unicorn to become a unicorn. Every other damn probably show which I would have seen personally in front of my eyes or on the TV, most of them want to become a unicorn within no time. And all these Shark Tanks are all masala.
Actually, we've glamorized the whole business.
Yes, they are like Ekta Kapoor's "Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi." Unnecessarily drama, nothing else. So they have not done this way. Probably they have not done. They have struggled a lot, and what they are showing to the world is that it is very easy. So one thing is that forget about the word unicorn. That's one. Second is never get investors in your business too early in your business. I would quote one business, and I will quote because it's a good example. Bad examples I will not take. I don't want to defame companies. So one good example I would take is Zoho, right? So it has become a $1 billion company now, and it is yet to get an investor on board.
Correct.
So if startups have to get built, I would say first make your reputation, build it with your revenues and profits. Preferably, I'll talk about as profits, and then maybe 5 years down the line. How does it matter you are getting an IPO within 5 years or not? You see the result of IPOs of Paytm and Zomato and Nykaa. It is all in a way commercialized way of showing to the world that India is growing. India is not growing like this. It is actually not growing like this. So that's the second thing. The third thing is that new age startups, that it is not just about the new idea, a different idea, an innovative idea. What is so unique about your idea? It's not about that only. It should be. You should have a different idea. You should have something which the world does not. I would say, which probably world but has not been explored much. Okay, but there is nothing in this world which has not been there, and you are saying that it is there. Now I am doing it. No, nothing in this world. You give me one product. You give me one example of any company which you will say that it was never there. I will prove it that it was there. So forget about this. There is nothing called newness. Everything was there even 10,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, and even now. So the energy was there in different forms. It is still there. So it is not just about the newness about the idea. It is about how much credibility have you built as the person you are, as the person who is the key persons who are, and the product and the service, which will matter the most. If it is able to fulfill the needs of the people for a small pilot population of say 1,000 people, and if 1,000 people get satisfied and they increase it to 10,000, that is when you should start thinking to put your first rupee of marketing cost. Not even from 1,000 to 10,000 rupees you should put marketing cost. No. So 10 from 1,000 to 10,000, which means 10 times. When you have grown 10 times organically, then you should put your first rupee. If you are a real businessman.
Correct. So that's what one of the key things. Thank you for those so wisdomful of your chats and talks. Really enjoyed the whole transformation which you are talking of the people and the entrepreneurs per se. So we'll connect with you on a personal basis also. Thanks for your time, Ajit. And
Thank
we
you, Nirmallya.
call off this show today and look forward to sort of meeting and sort of hearing from the other entrepreneurs who sort of have gone through this video today to their ideas and how they resonate with Ajit's thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nirmallya. It was wonderful speaking to you, and you gave me an opportunity to be in this interview. Thank you so much.